Hey, everybody, and welcome to this new episode of the podcast. And in this episode, I wanted to address something that's really powerful, really apparent on people's health, fitness, well-being journeys, personal growth and development journeys, and that's the ability to change habits that align to the ultimate self, the goals that you have set yourself. And it's really close to my heart because it's something that I've battled with, and I think everyone battles with. How do you change a habit that's keeping you locked in to your current state? It's a big one, and there's lots of information out there, can be very confusing. And over the years and years of helping people, I've kind of come to a process that really aligns with me and has aligned with many other people that I've helped when it comes to changing patterns. Okay. And something to think about here, habits are trained. We call upon habits because they will have got us through a particular feeling, emotion, belief at the time, and they would have probably be quite soothing. Okay. So they are patterns and they are trained. The good thing about that is with the right mindset and approach and awareness, we can start to retrain the patterns to more aligned habits and patterns to our ultimate self. Now, this takes work, and that's probably why a lot of people don't change habits and progress, is because they're not willing to kind of like sit back, take the time to do the work. And I'm going to take you through what that looks like. And another little caveat to this is to remember that there's no perfection here, there's no judgment. I'm going to be saying a little bit more on that a little bit later, but if you're going to look for perfection, the all or nothing, you're going to be coming up short here. Okay. There is no perfection. There is only the willingness to develop and grow and to keep working at this. This is something that you don't just arrive at. It's something that you don't just get. It's something you're always working on. And I think that's really powerful is this game is never up. It's something that you're always working on and developing and progressing on. And sometimes you'll fall short. And it's your opportunity from that to learn from that falling short and having the willingness to learn from it and to grow and develop. Okay. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into how we can change these limiting habits to better ones, okay, and start working towards your ultimate self. Now, the first thing we need to do is start with the anchor. And the anchor is what I like to refer to at Thrive is the ultimate self, the goal, the why, where you're heading, what does that look and feel like, the outcome, okay? And that really needs to resonate because, like anything, you're not going to just stop doing something because it doesn't feel very good. It needs to align to an ultimate uh, place that you're trying to get to, okay? It needs to mean something to you, and we can start with looking at who are you actually becoming. Okay. What is your why? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Why are you trying to do this in the first place? And if it's to, you know, drop a dress size or drop a jean size or look good on holiday, it's probably not going to cut it. Well, it's just not. Okay. So we need to dig deeper. And the people that are willing to really dig deep into finding out what their true ultimate why is will place themselves in a much stronger position to go through this process and make the change that is needed. Okay. So yeah, what does that aligned version of you look like? Okay. How does that person respond in stressful situations? So start asking yourself these really powerful questions. Where am I going? What am I becoming? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Why do I need to achieve this so bad? Now, if you want to dig more deeper into this, I have a document, your why and identity document, and this helps you to ask you some very powerful questions on how to reveal your deep personal why, and then also to build out the identity that links you up to that why. Okay, we need to do the work on Well, how does that person show up? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to take our time to get real clarity on why on earth am I going to want to make this change in the first place? Why does it mean so much to me that I do that? Okay, so that's the first thing. That's really, really important. Okay, now the next thing is awareness. Okay, let's become aware of the actual habit itself. Now, you may kind of say, well, I've got certain habits that hold me back, but you're not really that clear on them. You look, you may be, okay, but really taking some time and get really clear on what that actual habit or habits actually are. I would always try and look at one specific one if it's the most challenging one or the one that's most revealing to you. I would go there first. And then really get clarity on that. And that's the way that we do that is by doing this. When does it show up? Find exactly when this thing actually shows up. What part of the week? Is there a time, part of the month, weekends? Are you at work or you're at home? What just happens before it? Is there any like sort of trigger or anything that reveals itself before you actually fall into this habit? Okay. What time of day? Okay. What emotional state? Now that's really, really powerful. Okay. So I want you to think about the emotions and feelings and possible beliefs that you are having just before this habit reveals itself, just before this habit takes place. Because what we've got to realize is certain habits, in particular, what I like to refer to as red, low frequency habits, those habits that aren't aligned to your true ultimate self, are connected to certain habits. Okay. Sorry, certain feelings and emotions. That could be stress. Okay. So many people can find themselves reaching for alcohol, wine, whatever, beer, or whatever it is when they're highly stressed to soothe that feeling, that emotion. Overwhelm. So when you're scrolling, it's probably because you're overwhelmed. You don't want to face the thing that you need to face. Poor food or takeaways, probably just exhausted, like you're really, really tired. All right. You're just mentally on the floor and you're like, I can't think about food, or you're not even thinking about anything at all. And you're just grabbing the easiest, most accessible, quick food you can get. Okay. Um, Weekend overeating, probably because restriction has caught up with you. All right. You're just heavily restricted in the week because of work, because of the kids or whatever it is, family life and everything going on. You're over restricted and the weekends of here and you haven't got that structure in place. And yeah, you're overeating at the weekend. So really think about digging into what is that habit. What is it? Okay. And ask yourself those really powerful questions because only from awareness of the pattern can we actually then start to ask ourselves really deep, meaningful, and aligned questions and something to grow from, and then take to be able to take aligned action. Okay. So habits aren't random. They are predictable responses to predictable emotional states. Just remember that. These habits are occurring not as just they're occurring. They're occurring because they're trying to mask a particular emotional state. So highlight what that emotional state is that leads to that habit. Okay. Now, the next one, and this is really, really important. When people have a habit that they know is negative and against them, they judge themselves. Okay. People attack themselves. Why am I like this? I've ruined it again. I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm just a bad person or whatever it may be. Okay. But it's not about judgment. It's not about perfection. It's not about all or nothing. Okay. It's about just being curious. And I say that a lot to my clients. It's so powerful if you're just curious and just be able to ask yourself, that's interesting. I wonder why that happened. Why did I act in that way? Why did that habit happen? Okay. So do not judge yourself on this. There's no time for that. That's just a limited mindset. We want to be in that growth mindset. And to do that, we need to be curious. And what if instead of judgment, we used curiosity? Okay. And ask yourself, what am I actually needing? This is very important. What am I actually needing right now? Okay. Not what you want, but what am I actually needing right in this moment? Okay. So you're being curious. Okay. And most likely, it isn't another cookie. It isn't another bottle of wine. It isn't cheap, crappy food. Okay. It's probably comfort from something. It's probably connection. Okay. It's probably a deep conversation with your kids. Okay. It's probably a hug from your partner. It's probably to go for a walk or to do some movement of some sorts. Okay. Exercise or not exercise, just some movement, or to go and listen to some music that you haven't listened to before. But like, be curious and what is it that I need right now? And I think you'll be very, very surprised with the answers that you get from that. Okay. And what will happen here is in that moment where you've just allowed yourself just to not react, but you're able to just align yourself, okay, and be curious, all right? Those habits that will come from that process of just giving yourself that stillness, that space, that time will align to your ultimate self. They will reveal themselves, okay? And what you're doing here now is you're moving from that red energy, that restrictive survival mode, into green energy, which is aligned response. Okay? All right. So, quick recap, why identity? We then need to highlight what it is, the habit. Okay. And then we need to be curious. Okay. What are the feelings and emotions and beliefs around that? For me drawing to and doing that habit. Okay. Once we're there, we're able to be curious and go, it's interesting. All right. What is it that I truly need in this moment? Okay. And sit with it. And things will start to reveal itself from. I've had clients go, you know what? I'm just really thirsty. I don't need another biscuit. I'm actually really thirsty, but they've only come to that conclusion because they've given themselves that time and that opportunity to realign, to get into green energy. Okay. And the key line here is you don't fix patterns through shame. Okay. You fix them through awareness. So we're looking to move towards awareness and not through shame. Okay, really, really important there. Now, alignment, not all or nothing. Okay, and this is really important as well. So let's give you some examples. So alcohol can be an initial one where it's kind of like an all or nothing. I'm either not drinking or I'm just getting sloshed. All right, or I'm just like this, the floodgates have opened and I'm just gonna enjoy myself until I can't drink anymore. Okay, so we're not moving towards that. What we can move towards is it's not the bottle of wine, but it's a glass of wine with a meal, right? What is that a bad thing? Is that a bad person that does that? No, it's like I can be able to have a meal and have a glass of wine. Okay, that's an aligned action. Okay, skipping training or doing 20 minutes aligned session. Just doing 20 minutes of something. It's not having to get your kit on to get out the house, make sure the kids are all right, make sure you've responded to the email to then get to the gym, to park, to then train for an hour, to get back in the car, to get home, to get a shower, blah, blah. No, it's like I'm just going to adapt to this and I'm going to make an aligned decision to do a 20-minute home session. You're still aligning to your true ultimate self. Okay. Again, not all or nothing. So alignment isn't extremes, it's intentional. So you're just being intentional, okay, with your actions. Not perfect, not all or nothing. You're just being intentional. You're just giving yourself that time again to reflect. Feeling this way. This is curious. I'm interested. I'm feeling stressed. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I get that. Okay, no judgment. All right. What is it that I truly need? Okay. And then yeah, you won't be all or nothing at that point. Okay. Now there's a little thing that you can do in the physical world that I like just to share with you, and that is making low red energy habits more difficult to do. Okay. So if it is grabbing certain poor quality foods in the house, it's either getting rid of them or putting them in places where it takes action upon action upon action to actually do the thing. Okay. And the flip side to that is then replacing that habit, that poor low red energy habit with a green habit. So placing a bowl of fruit on the side in the kitchen where you can just see it, is a green energy habit, and you made it simple, really simple. It's there. You've walked into a room. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go into a cupboard to get it, or think about it. It's just there. You pick it up, you eat it. Okay. So think about real world tip, make that low energy habits more challenging to do. Okay, put the cookies away. Don't buy the cookies. Um, uh, you know, uh, uh, Another one with if you want to go for a run or be active, placing your trainers by the bed of a night so they're there to get up and go. Training kit laid out so you're lowering the resistance to do the actual thing. That's a real world thing you can do there. Okay. So I want to just kind of like summarize it here. Okay. So the first thing we need to do, all right, is we need to anchor in identity. Okay. How does this person, with the results that I'm working towards, how do they show up? We need to get really clarity on that. And remember, if you want help on that, I've got a document to help you do that. Okay. Build awareness, really get clarity on what the actual habit is and get really clear on it. Okay. Stay curious. What kind of feelings and emotions that you have leading up to that actual thing? Okay. And make sure that you're really clear on those feelings and emotions. Okay. And then from there, not being judgmental, just choose alignment. Be curious into what's the alternative? What is it? Remember this. What is it that I truly need in this moment? And as I said, you'll be amazed with what will come from that. Okay. It will be an aligned action. Okay, it will be. Because here's the thing, guys, you're not trying to change yourself into John 2.0 or Alice 2.0. You have this within you. This is your true ultimate aligned self, or what how you want to lead your life is you. It's a part of you. You're just pulling it out and having this awareness, whether it's around habits or whatever it is pulling this out of you. Okay, and you're just flexing that muscle. You're just getting better at it. Every time you're being curious, every time you're just sitting with it and not feeling that you've got to act upon it, is you flexing this muscle and getting better at it and revealing your true ultimate self. The poor quality habits have just revealed themselves because they're coping mechanisms. You've just found a quick, simple, easy way to cope with the feelings and emotions that you're currently going through. Okay? Now, all we're doing is we're stopping and asking ourselves, what is it that I need in this moment? Okay? And you've got to be willing to do that and to go back to it and try it again. Okay? In other areas as well. Okay? So, really important for you guys to understand is you're not being lazy here. I know it can make you feel like you are when you've got these poor habits. You're just practicing stress-based patterns more than aligned ones. You've just gone to, as I said, those stress-based patterns. Okay, low energy, red energy patterns. Okay, and you just wanted to practice these things. More practice, the better you get at it. Okay, so wanted to leave you with something to reflect on, take action upon, because I think it's really powerful that you can listen to something like this, but make sure you go and take action. Okay. So the first thing, what habits frustrate me most? Okay. That's the first one. When does it usually show up? Okay. Get really specific on that one. Okay. As much as you possibly can. Sorry, it does done that one. What emotion sits underneath it? Now that's a tricky one. I want you to practice that. Okay. Sitting with it when you're in it and just going, Be curious. What emotion is sitting underneath this habit and this feeling to do this thing? Okay. And then the fourth one, what would my aligned self choose instead, even at 60%? Not perfect, but like just looking at what could that look like? Okay. I'm interested. What could my aligned self choose instead? Okay. All right. So I hope that has been helpful. Okay. Um, give it a go. Start taking action. This isn't a quick fix. And anybody that's telling you that it is, okay, is not being truthful with you and just trying to make a quick buck or whatever it is. Okay. Okay, so just take your time and take action, okay, and be curious, okay. Leave you with this: if you're stuck in the same cycle, you're not broken. You just haven't been shown the pattern to your ultimate self, and you haven't revealed that pattern to your ultimate self. So be curious, take action, don't judge yourself, and do the work. All right, guys. Hope that's been helpful. Speak soon.